Australia's leaders are trying to revive the empty centres of our big cities. But is it really safe to return to the office?
I think the office is a tricky piece of infrastructure to manage right now.
Getting there will be the first hurdle, and for many, public transport is the only way. Jade Hopper's main route to work in Melbourne CBD is by tram.
Especially when COVID first hit, I was uncomfortable about even taking the tram. Your health is number one, and it is the number one priority and not to risk that. So being on the tram, there's definitely been a couple of times where I've gotten off just because it's gotten too crowded.
Jade works as a lawyer and sometimes takes an hour-long train ride to a second office in outer Melbourne.
I'm guilty as much as anybody else, but as soon as somebody's coughing and you're going, okay, is this a worry for me?
Jade is grateful that her law firm has allowed her extra time to get to work in a COVID world.
Once more and more people start entering your commute and your bubble, it gets so worrying. If I feel a little bit unsafe or that it is a little bit more crowded, I just hop off and hop on the next one or change carriages or, there's things that you can do.
New data released to 7:30 shows it'll be a while before public transport returns to its pre-COVID heyday. This graph, based on mobile phone data, shows the buzz of activity around train stations in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. In late March, when the shutdown began, activity crashes. But by May, as restrictions ease, it's starting to crawl back up, but only just.
It doesn't really tell you that people are in any sense snapping back or getting back to normal, but people are venturing out a little more.
Governments are trying to allay fears. New South Wales has introduced tough social distancing measures, limiting buses to 12 passengers and train carriages to 32. But that poses its own problems.
It'll be very frustrating if you see a lot of buses roll by that are only a quarter full or train carriages go by and you can't get on them.
The alternative will be bikes, but also cars.
You can see the public health reason why people might prefer to drive rather than take public transport, but if everybody does it, the city is likely to end up in gridlock.
Once arriving at the office, there'll be a new routine. Some companies, such as ANZ in Melbourne, will have thermal scanning to identify anyone with a temperature. Offices will need to be rearranged under new national guidelines. That'll mean more cleaning in the workplace, restructuring the layout for physical distancing, and putting a limit on how many people can be at work. In Sydney, National Operations Manager Lauren Henry is returning to the office after weeks working from home. She's cautious at the lifts.
There's lift waiting areas so that you can maintain distancing in the lobby, sanitising your hands before you press the lift button, and I usually use a pen, just keeping everything clean.
And in her office, staff are told where they can and can't sit with a safe distance in between. Even using the office kitchen has new rules.
Aren't allowing any communal utensil use, as well as no food prep. And we're actually encouraging our staff to bring in their own water bottle as well as their own coffee cup.
Lauren works for Australia's biggest office landlord, Dexus, which is bringing back about half of its 450 workers in Sydney on rotation.
Whilst there'll be less people in the office, it will be great to see some familiar faces again.
This is a very contagious virus, and the workplace is a risky spot if no one follows the rules, but if everybody applies some common sense and logic, then we're all going to be better off for it.
With fewer people on the office floor, it means working from home could become more accepted.
About 25% of people say that they want to continue working from home after this is over. Google and Facebook and Visa have told their employees that they won't be returning to work until 2021. Companies like Twitter and Square have told people they never have to come back to the office.
But advocates say the office is here to stay, even if COVID prevails.
Is it safe? Yes, within the framework they've provided, we think it is. Is it dead Absolutely not.
You have to have patience. I think everyone's adjusting to this new normal, and the quicker we can adjust and accept that, the quicker we'll be back to the workplace as a society.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.